What's good, y'all? Episode 29, Cross. I'm Jax. That's Cross. What's going on with you, bro? How's Christmas?
Man, Christmas was good. It was always good. To see the family get that time in. Got their presents to them, and now just getting ready for the New Year and New Year's Eve, and this little break from the UFC we got, and then also, man, we got some exciting things going on in the NFL and the college football world. How's everybody going? How's everything going with you and your family?
Everything's good. Got through Christmas. Got the wrapping done. Got the gifts given, all that good stuff. So yeah, man, I'm happy it's over. But like you said, we got a little bit of downtime when it comes to the UFC. Shout out Lord of the Place. Yeah, it's about 6 weeks that we're gonna be out of the pocket with the UFC, but it gives us time to talk about the UFC. I know everybody's doing awards, means it's only right that we do awards too. So we're gonna dig into that. We're also gonna dig into some college football. The playoff is upon us, starting on Wednesday, or kicking off some more on Wednesday, and then of course we got the NFL. We'll wrap it up at that. But digging directly into the MMA awards. I mean, I say MMA, but it's really UFC. That's what we care about, to be honest. Um, so let's start at the top, man. Who do you got as fighter of the year?
So, I mean, going into towards the end of the year, I felt like Marab really kind of had this wrapped up.
Yeah.
And then what happened at, the last event of the year, he takes that loss to Peter Yan. It kind of just throws a wrench in everything. So for me, my male fighter of the year is Islam Makhachev. I mean, the guy defended his lightweight belt at UFC 311 against Renato Moicano, moved up, to become a double champ at UFC 322 against Jack Della Maddalena, become the 11th two division champion in the UFC. So tough, but I think for me, it's definitely Islam Makhachev. What about you?
Yeah, man. I agree that Marab, he had this in the bag, but he just kept on going out there, and you keep on going out there against these killers, man. Bad things happen, and I think he's went out there one too many times. But because of that, and because we have to look at the entirety of the year, I also went with Islam Makhachev, and it's not so much because of who he beat, even though Moicano he's a formidable opponent. I don't think he's championship caliber, but it was the fact that Islam, it made history in two different divisions. He made history, with that title defense at lightweight, and then goes up and becomes champ at welterweight. So I mean, you gotta give it to Islam. I don't see how you don't. And I think he's the best fighter in the world. I mean, there's others that you can in there, but I think that Islam is the best fighter in the world. What did you have for female? This one's easy. I feel like this one's very straightforward.
Yeah, this one's very straightforward. I gave it to Valentina Shevchenko. Beating Mano Farrow, like that's the only loss Mano's taken in the UFC, and then defeating Zhang Weili in a fight that wasn't even really competitive when you think about it. The Bullet, man, she really just cemented herself as one of the greatest ever. Even though she's towards the end of her career, still doing it, and it was a great year for Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, I went with Valentina too. If you look at everybody else in those women's divisions, it's hard to see anybody that did anywhere close to what she did. Even though it's not as pretty, it's not as definitive. She's still winning, so you can't really argue with it. So yeah, Valentina Shevchenko until somebody does something else spectacular. What did you have for KO of the year?
KO of the year. So I feel I I feel like if I go with one pick, like basically you're gonna call me a homer, so I'm not gonna go with that pick. So I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path, and I'm going with the spinning elbow from Lerone Murphy against Aaron Pico. Brutal KO. We had back-to-back spinning elbows that night. Phenomenal KO. Unfortunately, it didn't get him a title shot, even though we all thought it would get him a title shot. But for me, it's that spinning elbow from Lerone Murphy.
It should have got him a title shot. If it wasn't him, it should have been Movsar Evloev fighting for the belt. But man, I gotta go with the one that everybody's probably picking, Mauricio Hufi against King Green. I mean, he set it up beautifully, and the fact that King Green is still at this age very elusive, very hard to hit, and he basically shut his lights off. I mean, in the most ridiculous and impressive way. Like, I think it's definitely Mauricio Hufi. I thought about the Lerone Murphy one as well, especially considering where that catapulted him. But man, that spinning heel kick, I mean, it's hard to top that.
Yeah. The honorable mention for me was gonna be Ilya Taporia against Charles Oliveira. That was my honorable mention right there.
Another one I thought about was the Quillen Southkill one.
Oh, the head kick,
yeah. That one was crazy. That was definitely on my list. But I had to go with Hufi. What did you have a sub of the year? I don't think it's gonna be the same on this one.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be the same on this. So submission of the year for me, I went with Gene Silva against Bryce Mitchell with that little ninja choke, bro. Like nobody saw it coming. It caught everybody off guard, and he just finished Bryce Mitchell. That was my favorite sub of the year. What about you?
I picked the same one. I picked the same one, dude. I mean, it's because that's not what he does. I mean, it's just not what he does ever. And for him to catch somebody who's a submission artist like that in a ninja choke, and I love watching people actually do ninja chokes because of how weird the angle of the arms have to be. Like, yeah, I picked Gene Silva too. That's too. Well, at the time, didn't Hufi leave?
Yeah, I did see that. He did just leave. I think he's training. Where did I see he was training at? I can't remember, but I definitely saw, or maybe his coach came out and said something about it. But I did see something like that on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I think the honorable mention for me would be for submission of the year would probably be Merab submitting O'Malley.
Yeah, that was definitely on the list as well. I tried to find a way to get Walter Walker in there, but like it's not the fact that he gets those heel hooks. It's the fact that he continues doing over and over when you know it's happening. So he's definitely on my list, but I almost see something more spectacular to get him ahead of John Silva. But yeah, the Merab one, because that one was unexpected as well. I have that on my bingo card going into that fight at all. Yeah, Grimy, I did that pick.
Grimy, I sent him the Afro picture, Grimy, but I'll send him the dread pick now though. Oh wow, yeah, it's pretty bad, bro. I definitely send it to you.
All right, so who did you have for breakout star of the year? I feel like this one is pretty straightforward too.
Yeah, I feel like this one is probably going to be the same pick. For breakout star of the year for me was Joshua Van, the new flyweight champion. Very active, beautiful fight style to watch. The dude shows up. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody ends up picking the fight with him and Roy Val as fight of the year as well. But for me, it's Joshua Van. I mean, it came out of nowhere and the new flyweight champion.
Yeah, definitely Joshua Van. With apologies to Waldo Cortez Acosta there with them. But he didn't win a belt and Joshua Van did. So it's easily Joshua Van. Oh, you know what? I actually skipped over that fight of the year. You brought it up just a second ago, but who did you have for fight?
So for fight of the year, I went a little off the beaten path because I feel like everybody's going to go with the Joshua Van Roy Val fight. So I went a little different, and this fight didn't last very long, but I went Ebo Aslan and the Polish dude Iwo, I can't say his last name, but bro, that fight, the energy I felt in however long it lasted, bro, was absolutely crazy. I sent that fight to everybody I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, that fight was just amazing for me.
Yeah, a minute and 28 seconds. That's how long it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually have that as my round of the year. The Ebo versus Ewo fight. But for fight of the year, I went with Brandon Royval against Joshua Van. Just because of the stakes, you know, obviously we are, you know, months past it now, and so we know how things shake out. Joshua Van goes on to be the champion, and Brandon Royval ends up dropping another fight and getting knocked out. So we know how the whole thing played out. But yeah, it's hard for me. It was hard for me to go another way. Even though the Ebo versus Ewo, I mean, if you're talking about getting your heart rate super high, that was one right there for sure.
Absolutely.
Did you said that you may have one for comeback of the year, but what did you have for comeback?
So for comeback of the year, comeback fighter of the year, off the top of my head, for me, it's gonna be Peter Yan. You know, like the guy was in a very bad place after the first Aljo fight with the DQ, and then he lost the O'Malley fight, lost the Murad fight, and then just went on a tear. And now he's the champion again at bantamweight. So for me, it's Peter Yan.
Yeah, that's another obvious one. Peter Yan, easy. He said he had gone on a losing streak, but only one of those fights were where he was really just getting dominated, and the person that was against, obviously, he got his get back, and he's gonna have to do it again. But
Yep.
he rose right back up, and he's still in his prime. He's still in his prime. Grimy brought up the Sadikov against Mata fight. That fight was
Yeah.
That's
another good call. That's one of the favorites right there. Just put
that
that in your little playlist on Fight Pass, and you good to go right there.
Yes. So specifically, like as far as like a fight that I thought that there was a comeback of the year within the fight itself was the Cesar Almeida versus
oh yes,
Alhassan.
Yes, yeah, because bro, he was about to get finished. I remember that, dog. That finish was crazy, dog. For real.
Alhassan was letting them things go too, just go crazy. Yeah, got put to sleep bad.
Did he? Bad, brutally. Like, I mean, feet all crossed like that and everything.
Yeah, you know when the dude's feet start crossing, like, nah, that's not natural. You ain't never done
bro. they in a whole nother realm, dog.
Yeah, it was bad for him. He thought he had it too, and he ain't no knockout artist, but he was going for it. But yeah, that was an amazing comeback. And then also another amazing comeback was Yuri Prochazka against Khalil Roundtree Jr.
Yep.
Because Khalil was doing some really good things in that fight. He was landing some shots. And then Yuri just decided, nah, I don't feel like losing today.
Yep.
And man, the way that Khalil fell when it got to the end, like I was almost like watching Creed, like the way that he fell. It was sad, but I was happy for Yuri at the same time. But I have it for you though. Who do you think, out of everybody on the roster, who do you think is the one most exciting fighter in the UFC?
Most exciting?
The most exciting. Like win or lose, you already know. Like once they go in there, this is going to be an exciting fight. I don't care what happens.
Bro, this is easy for me, man. Yuri Prochazka, bro. Like, it don't matter who he in there with, bro. Like, you know you gonna get your money's worth with Yuri Prochazka, dog. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Grimy, good call on the Cody Brundage Marquez. That was another good comeback too. That was another good one.
What's up, Brian? No, I 100% agree. I think that Yuri Prochazka is the most exciting fighter in the UFC, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fights that he's lost against Alex Pereira, they were crazy exciting. I feel like
And
he's
then,
away from he's gone past Justin Gaethje as being the most exciting fighter in the UFC.
yeah, there are no decisions for Yuri Prohaska. Either he's winning by finish or he's getting finished.
Yeah. Grimy said Ilya Taporia. Mm,
Ilya's very exciting, but bro, Yuri is literally like you don't know what to expect one way or the other.
yeah, I mean, with Ilya, it's close. I feel like almost all of his fights in the UFC have been exciting, except for one. It was Yusuf Zalal.
Yeah.
It was not an exciting fight. And that's not his fault. Don't get me wrong. And we're just talking about the level of excitement. You can't point to no Yuri fight. None. Not one Yuri fight born in the UFC. None. I don't think you can find one.
Yeah, for sure.
Ryan said he likes the old UFC better. Like how old?
Yeah. How old? Be specific.
Yeah, you talking about Art Jimerson? One glove? Old? No. No, we're not doing that. Grammy said Yuri's like the warrior exciting. I get what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yep. Win or lose, bro, you are getting your money's worth with Yuri Prohaska.
So before I move on to college football, comparing 2025 to 2024, do you think the stock is up on UFC or stock is down on UFC?
I think going into 2026, I think the stock is up, especially with a lot of things in place. So first off, the new Paramount deal, I think, is gonna do good things for the UFC. And then going into 2026, I think there's a lot of possibilities and potential of some really, really big fights. Like the White House card, that could happen. And if that happens, like we know that card is gonna be incredibly stacked. So that will be amazing. And then we got two double champions that have been talking about each other, and we might get a fight bigger than any fight we've ever had where we get two double champions fighting each other. That would be massive in 2026. And then who knows, like John Jones Pereira been doing a lot of chirping too, and that fight could happen. That would be an amazing fight as well. So I think there's just a lot of upside in 2026, and we got some big fights to look forward to.
Yeah, I think that there is some upside in the 2026, but our stock is in comparison to 2024. So at the same point last year, 2024, obviously we didn't know of any new deal, with a new streaming component or anything like that. But what we did have is we just came off of the Sphere and UFC 300, and I feel like excitement was the highest that it had been in a couple of years, coming off of those two massive situations. This year, I mean, the UFC wouldn't say it, but to me, it was a down year in comparison. Obviously, you can only compare them to themselves, but in comparison, it was a down year because we didn't have like a mega event. And this is on them now. You keep on putting out these mega events, people are going to expect you to top it. So they didn't have a mega event this year. Next year, I'm supposed that they're thinking that that's going to be the White House. I guess, whatever. I'm not interested, but I think that that's what they think is going to be the mega event. But and then also Paramount. But for me, like they got a little bit of work to do. They got some champions that are gonna be that have stepped away for a little bit when it comes to Pantoja with Ilya Taporia. Hanchamayev is injured. There's some things that are in the way. So hopefully they get cleared up, but I'm actually a little worried. Be honest.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We shall see. We shall see. Grimy, he's already to it. He's already to it.
Yeah, of course, bro. Bro, Grimy was blowing me up all over the weekend talking about the Michigan Wolverines hire, man. Like, when I tell you this man was so happy and elated with the hire, like, hey, shout out to you, Grimy, man. I'm glad y'all got y'all's guy in Whittingham, and I think the program is gonna be in good hands for a few years.
So, but did you? I mean, obviously, when we talked about it, this is not a name that came up. But do you think this is better than some of the suggestions that we had before?
I honestly think it's the best hire they could have made. I think stylistically, like what he likes to do, like he's a defensive guy, former defensive coach. The style that of his teams at Utah fits perfectly to like what they want to do at Michigan. They want to play defense, they want to be physical, control the line of scrimmage, and he's gonna have access to money and players that he just did not have access to at Utah. My only concern, my only question about him though is he's 66 years old. How much does he have left in the tank? And we don't really know what he can do with the big program yet. I think he'll do fine, but we still got to see it happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's coming from Utah, right? So like he's got an element of a big program, but this is a whole another level. I think that he'll be just fine, but I am curious about the whole age situation. You know, is he a Pete Carroll where Pete's able to, do it going into his 70s, or is he, this is the pinnacle and he's just happy to be there situation, which that's not going to fly in Michigan. But Grimy said, and made part of it, that the staff will be fired. I feel like that's the biggest thing that he could do right now is put together the best staff, give him the best support. That's the most important part of it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with NIL now and the transfer portal, man, your support staff's got to be top notch, and you got to be ready to handle anything because they're changing these rules so fast, and the landscape is just changing so fast. You got to be able to pivot and be ready to go. And then on top of it, I don't know if we touched on it last week, but Penn State got Matt Campbell. And I really like that hire for them as well. So I think the Big Ten made some really good hires in this coaching cycle, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, yep, I think so. So on to the games. I would ask you what game you're most excited about, but what's second most game that you're most excited about? I know what the one.
Probably the second most game I'm looking forward to is probably the Miami Ohio State game, just because I think everybody is doubting Miami. Like I feel like nobody's giving Miami a chance, but the game is down in Miami in the Orange Bowl. They're playing on their home field. Yeah, I know they don't really get the support there, but it's different now. They're playing for it all. And then when you think about it, me and you, we're in the same age group. So like me and you remember the last time freaking Ohio State Miami played for the 2002 national championship game, all-time classic game. So it makes us remember all that. And we just got to see, Ohio State's just coming off that loss to Indiana. Do they turn back into the buzzsaw they did in the playoffs last year? Or does Miami get that momentum off of beating A&M and carry it into this game and then win another close ball game? Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing that on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I'm excited about that game. That's probably the one I'm most excited about because I don't know what Miami team, or rather what Miami offense is going to show up. If they're able to actually put things together. Because I mean, the game against A&M, it was a slog and obviously a defensive battle, but this is going to be a completely different game. And Miami does have a lot of things going for them, but I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be uphill. I'm actually hoping Miami wins, but it's going to be uphill to try to win this particular game completely. Like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think for Miami to really pull it off, like they're gonna have to stay in two high safeties and just force Ohio State to run the ball because the best part of their team is Cardell Tate, Jeremiah Smith on the outside. So you cannot give those guys one-on-one coverage. And as a defense, you kind of got to dictate to the offense, like, hey, if you want to attack us vertically, you're gonna be throwing it with safety help over the top. So
Yeah.
and then going into the game, man, the coaches got to tell the front seven, the front guys in the box, like, hey, like you're gonna have to defend the run with a light box, and you just gonna have to get after it because we can't put our guys on islands against these receivers.
No, not at all. Not those, not them receivers at all. They need help. So the Oregon and Texas Tech game, like, is there any way that the winner doesn't score 30 points?
So I know you was talking about you're expecting a shootout, this and that, but I'm not really expecting a shootout. And the reason why is because Texas Tech hasn't really been tested too frequently this year. Like, yes, I know they got wins over Utah and BYU twice. I get that. But they're going to be facing a different level of athlete, different level of physicality. I do like the Texas Tech defense. They fly around. I really like the linebacker. I think his name's Rodriguez. Really like him. He flies around like playing with his hair on fire. But Oregon's also, their head coach is a defensive guy. So I think the both defenses are going to play well. And I think I'm not expecting it to be a track meet.
I mean, for them, I think that's probably the way that they want to play. I don't think they don't want to get to a track meet, but that's what I see. Or Oregon just runs away with it.
Okay.
Oregon gonna put up 30.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, Ole Miss and Georgia.
So Ole Miss and Georgia, the rematch to the regular season game. I think this game is going to be very, very big for Ole Miss. The whole team can rally around Pete Golding. Pete Golding is going to be doing interviews talking about how we don't need Lane Kiffin. We can do this without Lane Kiffin. So I feel like Ole Miss is going to come out with a point to prove, trying to say, hey, we can get this done without Lane Kiffin. But Georgia's been playing really good football lately. They haven't been risking it much, playing really good defense, haven't been turning the ball over. And Kirby Smart's a big game coach, been in this situation too many times to count. He's gonna have his team ready, prepared, and I think it's gonna be another physical SEC matchup.
Yeah, I think Georgia down. I mean, I think the Ole Miss is going to give a good account of themselves. I don't think they're going to get blown out, but I think it's going to be a definitive win for Georgia. I just think they're just better. And honestly, even Lane Kiffin was there. I think that wouldn't change my mind at all. I think it's going to be the same situation. But I just think that Georgia is one of the teams that could win the whole thing. Just up, and I don't think the Ole Miss they drew the right straw in this situation. If it were Ole Miss versus Miami and to get to the next round, then okay, yeah, now we're in a situation where they could get something done. But I just think that this is just a bad matchup for them. Yeah. Unfortunately, that sucks for them too. I was hoping they were going to do well despite Lane Kiffin, but it is what it is. But the last matchup, and you know what? I'm gonna put this up here before we get to this last matchup.
I love it, Grimy. I love it.
So Alabama versus Indiana. What are your thoughts going into this game?
So, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to this game. I think this will probably be the most watched game of this round of games, just because I think you got Indiana, the new kid on the block, the good story, Kurt Signetti turning around the worst program in 2 years to win the Big Ten. Now they're going up against Bama, the bully. Like, the storyline writes itself. Kurt Signetti, the former Alabama assistant. Bama's coming into the game. You know, it's been up and down. They haven't played really good football the last 5 weeks, and then they come out and just go down 17 points to Oklahoma, come back and win by 10 on the road. So Alabama's got some momentum coming into this game, and you know, everybody in America is doubting Alabama. They think Alabama didn't deserve to be here, and then they just shut up a lot of people in the OU game. So it's going to be a big opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, like there's some people that think Indiana's not for real, but then there are people who think Alabama doesn't deserve to be in. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game in the Rose Bowl, probably the best setting for the bowl games, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. You're gonna be nervous. Ooh, you're gonna be nervous.
Bro, it's no different than any other game.
That's true. That's true. What? Congratulations there.
Good for you, Enrique. Or however you say that.
Yeah, glad you came on out that closet. What up, Jesse? But yeah, Indiana. I mean, I didn't, think that they're for real, and the fact that it's not all on Fernando Mendoza's shoulders. They have a complete team, and they deserve to be where they're at as far as being number one. They earned it. I agree. This is going to be the most watched, and I won't be nervous for this game because it doesn't matter to me which way it goes. but that being said, I kind of favor Alabama just because of there's people on that staff that have done this before, that have been in these situations before, that know how to win these types of games. And for Indiana, they haven't been here before. And so I don't know if the lights are going to get too bright for them. So I lean towards Alabama for that reason. And then plus, like you said, the momentum of them, coming off of being in a terrible situation the previous week and coming back and winning decisively. And then in these types of games throughout the year, and sometimes they came out on top and sometimes they didn't. So they're like battle tested at this point. So that's why I kind of favor Alabama. But if Indiana wins, man, this is the ultimate prove it game.
Mm-hmm.
They win this game, like I have a whole new respect for them beating an Alabama team, which I never thought that they didn't belong. I feel like they had one of, if not the most difficult path to get into the playoff with all of the teams that they've had to play throughout the year. But I think that this game is going to be a test for both of them. And if Alabama wins this game, man, like, to me, man, it's Alabama and Georgia. Like, it's between those two. That's what it's going to come down to. Whoever wins between them, that's who's going to win this whole thing. I can't see no beating them.
Yeah, the thing about it, man, it's like with Bama, you don't really know which team is going to show up. Like, if the team that shows up that played against OU the first time, or Georgia with the turnovers, block punt, they're definitely not going to beat anybody. But if you get the Bama team that does not turn the ball over, doesn't make silly penalties, they're going to be a tough out just because Bama plays really good defense as well. The good thing about Indiana is they pretty much do everything well. They run the ball, got the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, play good defense, turn teams over. So they can win a lot of different ways. And Kurt Signetti, man, that confidence he has as a coach, you can tell, man, the kids just respond to it and they play with that same level of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can tell. You can definitely tell. It's going to be an amazing game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm nervous on your behalf because I know you're going to be over there sweating. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game for sure. Anything from college football that I'm missing? I think I covered all of it.
Yeah, those are all the playoff games for sure.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to North Texas. Did win the bowl game against San Diego State. So 12 game season, or 12 game win season in program history. Will not be happening again next year because half the team is
Yep.
leaving. But that's what happens.
NIL talks.
Yeah. And the quarterback, the All-American running back, the leading receiver, obviously the coach, and two of the best players on all leaving via the portal.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it is, man. If you at one of them small, this is one thing I can say about the NIL. If you're at those smaller schools now, you definitely, I feel like before NIL, if you were at a super small program, it kind of was like a 1 in a million shot to get noticed, get eyes on you, and get you evaluated. But now you go put some good tape out there at a small school, you're gonna have bigger schools coming, offering you this money, and you're gonna get your opportunity. Because I feel like schools are recruiting through the portal harder than they are high school now.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. I mean, plus, like you said, they got skins on the wall now. You go out there and you play, especially if it's another D1 program. You play and show what you can do. And they got seniors leaving, other people on their team transferring out. I mean, that's a quick backfield.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not mad at them for leaving at all. Go get your money, man.
Yeah, you're
Especially
a proven
Mr. Meyer.
commodity.
Especially Mr. Meyer. Like, dude, I mean, he's going to go to a big program. He led the nation in passing this year. Like, he's going to go to a big school. And so is Caleb.
Yeah, they're about to be a millionaire.
Yep, and that's a lot for a dude that didn't even start on his high school team ever. It's crazy. All right, so let's dig into a little bit of NFL, just a little bit. So what this week? First of all, Myles Garrett didn't get the sack record, which I feel like they were kind of going all out of their way to make sure that he didn't get the sack record. Meanwhile, as they didn't do that, their team didn't win.
Yep.
So Steelers are going to have to play Baltimore next week for the AFC North title game, which is kind of sad. But, you know, that's just the way that the AFC North has kind of flamed out. But also another team that's going to be in the title game, quote unquote, the NFC South title game, Carolina against Tampa Bay. Carolina is still alive. I don't know how.
At 8-8, still alive. First place in the division.
Yep. First place. Tampa Bay has fallen. Man, do you remember like one of the first like thumbnails like of the season had Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Yep.
And we were all like, you know, that dude might be the front runner for the MVP. It all fell apart, man.
Yep, that's how it is, man. Once that film gets out there on you, man, teams start making adjustments. You start playing teams that second time, and they got that film on you, and then you start having some injuries on your team, man. Things shake up so much as the season goes on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And if they get, it doesn't really matter whichever the team. Like if Tampa Bay gets in, they win this game and get in. It's not even really an accomplishment. Like if Carolina wins and gets in, like it's a massive accomplishment for them. For Tampa Bay, like I think that they expected to be a lot better than this.
Yeah. I don't think Carolina's really done anything in like a decade. It was probably like when Cam Newton was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Cam, that was the last time that they were good. It was when Cam was good.
Yep.
He was the 2015 MVP.
Yep.
That was a long time ago. Shout out to Lane, by the way.
Good to see you, Lane. As always, we appreciate it.
Yep. And a discipline index. Say shot the cross is looking forward to him.
Of course. Of course.
So the one title game, NFC West title game, that I'm really interested in is the Seattle versus San Francisco game. So all of these games, this is great matchmaking, like foresight from the NFL matchmakers or whatever you call them, game schedule makers. They did a good job of making sure that at the end of the year it's going to be in division, and these games might be for the actual title. Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
3 title games, de facto title games at the end of the season makes people care about the end of the season a lot more, because otherwise, like, the fantasy playoffs are over, so people don't really care that much about week 18 like that, but you kind of have to now.
Mm-hmm.
um Last thing I noticed too is that and this is kind of below the radar, but it's probably the best thing that the Colts can have going for them, is Jonathan Taylor is about 50 yards behind James Cook for the rushing title. Jonathan Taylor has had an amazing season, and I feel like this is the only good thing that could be coming out of the Colts season at this point, where they collapsed as well. But he's about 50 yards behind him, so he could catch him and get the rushing title, if that means anything.
Yeah, and I think Philip Rivers said he came out and said he won't be playing again next year.
Oh yeah, no, no, man. Have you watched any of him play?
Like briefly, and you can tell, bro, he's been sitting on the couch, like he can barely move, and it's painful to watch. Like it just looks like everything he does hurts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can tell like from his face how much weight he's put on, which
Mm-hmm.
that's no shade. That's what you're supposed to do when you retire. But I mean, he wasn't really a person that moved around very much before. He sure ain't now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he's had fun playing in these games, and I think that he should ride off into the sunset again, and come back unless it's as an assistant coach.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was doing before he came back. He was coaching high school football.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure the office is still there.
Yeah, but I know the wife had no problems with him going to get those game checks real
Oh
quick though.
no, I wonder how much.
Especially with all the kids. Like they got a little team over there too now.
I wonder how much those game checks were.
For like a vet with his amount of tenure, I guarantee you those game checks were definitely worth it, 100%.
Yeah,
Because once you have so much time, like you have to make a certain amount of money. Like even if you are on the absolute minimum, when you have so much time at the pro level, like they have to pay you X amount of dollars.
yeah, the vet minimum, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it scales for different positions too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the vet minimum for a quarterback. Yeah, he got a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a few
Other than that,
weeks.
man, I mean, obviously, the Cowboys won. Who cares? Um, I mean, like I said before, they're gonna win another meaningless game. These are not the games that I need you to win. So whatever. They won, and they probably win again next week against the Giants. So doesn't matter.
Going forward, what do you think your Cowboys need to do to get things going in the right direction?
Well, number one on the list is fire Eberflus as a defensive coordinator. Hire Brian Flores. Um, hire a competent DC. Um, I would say figure out what we're going to do with Trayvon Diggs. Hopefully, send him somewhere else so we can use that money on somebody who's actually going to suit up and play and not be scared to tackle. Um, really focus on the defense. Make sure we got sign George Pickens, because we need that number two. I know he.
Are they going to be able to?
I think so. I don't. It's going to be some restructuring that's going to have to happen, but I think so. And a major part of that, honestly, is going to have to be doing something with Trayvon Diggs, because we can't be paying that kind of money for somebody who's not going to be there or not be committed to whatever defense we're running. Um, he hasn't looked the same since the check got cut. He isn't the same. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but and and also in the draft, I'd say let's keep our 2 first rounders. Let's draft for positions of need um, instead of just best available, and let's try to get some help on the back end. Get us a corner. I don't think that Bland is a starting outside corner. I think he's better in the slot, and let's there. Let's Siobhan Ravel, keep him on the outside. Let's draft somebody that's going to go along with that, and look for some safety help as well, and then get a swing offensive lineman. Like our offense is, as long as we get GP back, get Javante back. Like I'm confident in our offense. We average 30 points a game. I am worried about the defense. We can't be out here trying to take risks to try to score 40, and our defense can't hold people under 30 points a game. So like I feel like if we were able to do all of those things, then we would be successful. Now, do I have faith that we'll do those things? No, I don't. I don't. I really don't.
Just putting it out there. Zero confidence.
Zero confidence that they're going to do any of those things that I did. They might do 1 or 2.
And speaking a little off topic, how you feeling about your Mavs right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so I don't think this is a take, but it's just my opinion. I don't think that we should trade Anthony Davis. I'll just say it. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. It's because one, it's going to be very difficult to trade him for anything of substance. If we were to trade him to anybody, we'll lose the trade. We already lost the trade. Hit him. We can't lose too many trades after that, or it's just going to drag us down. And it's going to be very difficult to trade him to anybody that wants him. Of the teams that do want him, which would be Atlanta and Detroit, what they want to give us back is not something that we need. So we really abandoned the thought of trading him, at least for now. Wait till the off season, see what's out there. And if we can trade him, great. If we can't, well. I wouldn't rush Kyrie back. Let him take his time. If he wants to come back, after the All-Star break, fine. As long as it's not going to put him in a position to get hurt again, we can run that. But like, I wouldn't rush him back. And I mean, I would just play the games, playing for to try to make the play in, try to win the games, but let's not go out of the way making stupid trades, because that's how we got where we're at. So just play the games, let Cooper get experience, which he's definitely getting. And if AD can come back and give us something, let him give us something. But that's only going to boost his trade value. Because as of right now, the dude, I mean, he's on IR right now, or at least on the injury report day to day, a groin injury. Like, dude, nobody wants that on their team.
Yeah.
So let's just wait.
Well, we're going to see. We're definitely going to see. I know I saw San Antonio beat OKC again. I think that's like the 3rd time the Spurs have beaten OKC. And, man, they just got no answer for Wemby. Like, he literally is the difference. They can't do anything in the paint. He literally just shuts all the paint down by himself.
So the reason to me that San Antonio keeps beating OKC is because they push OKC into their weakest point. So like San Antonio found, just like you said, they find a way to eliminate some of that interior scoring. They don't allow OKC to get a break, and then they make OKC make corner threes, which OKC is terrible at. If you remember when OKC lost to the Mavericks a couple years ago, the problem was they were missing open threes. And it's the same situation. They're missing open threes. And unless they start making those, Alex Caruso starts knocking those down, which he's the main culprit, they're going to continue to have these issues when it comes to OKC because OKC is not going to let you score from the elbow, the way the Shakes to do. These they're just going to make it very difficult interior, so you're going to have to knock down threes to beat. And OKC is just not that.
Yeah. Because I mean, with Wemby out there, man, Shea Gilchrist, he can't get into that mid-range game where he just gets to his spot and does what he wants to do because guys can play him a certain kind of way, knowing that Wemby's never too far away.
That's true.
Vincent, what's going on? Good to see you in here, brother, as always.
What's up, Vincent? And then plus the Spurs have 3 physical guards that can bother Shea. So, you got Dylan Harper, the youngster. You got Stephon Castle. Like you got a lot of different bodies that they can throw at him, and then also make him work on the other end. So Spurs, the fact that they were able to get all of those, top 5 draft picks in a row and actually keep them, that's what's propelled them to be so good. And honestly, I think that they're a championship contender. The way that they've been playing.
Absolutely.
Shoot, Wemby's on a minutes restriction, and they're still doing this.
Yep, bro. If he stays healthy, like I think he's just gonna put up crazy numbers if he can stay healthy.
Yep. If he can, I don't think he will. I mean, I ain't wishing, injury on him, but it's just somebody with his frame. It just never works. It never works. I feel like the healthiest player with that type of frame, healthiest, not best, has been Bol, and that's because he don't play that kind of minutes.
Yeah, I always wonder why, like, he doesn't get more minutes, just being that long and that athletic. Like, why does it? Why? Yeah, like why don't he just get minutes? Because he can shoot, can handle the ball.
Yeah, I think it's his mentality.
I don't know. It has
Once he's locked in, he does get minutes, but he's not. He hasn't been locked in. It's on him. He's got those skills. Like he could be the person that they're trying to go and get. That teams are trying to go to get to play against Wemby. He could be alter ego to that, but he just won't put it together, man. He got all the skills too. Everything Wemby can do, Bol can do too.
Yep.
But that's on him. Wemby wants it. And Wemby will
bro, you can see the difference. It's all right here. It's all right there.
Yeah. Yep. Have you heard about that one kid in college? I want to say he's 7'9".
Yeah, I think he's at Florida. I think his name's like Oliver or something, but yeah, 7'9".
Yeah.
I saw a video with him where he was in it with Shaq, and Shaq like stood up, and then he came behind Shaq, and Shaq was looking up at him like, bro, that's crazy.
Shaq looking up at anybody is crazy. I don't know. Before we get out of here, man, what else you got going on the channel this week?
So this week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing some college football playoff watch-alongs. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do Ohio State, Miami, or if I'm going to do Oregon, Texas Tech, or if I'm going to do both. I'm trying to decide that. But there is definitely a chance I could do both. I mean, I'm going to be watching them anyway, so we'll see. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. I will definitely be doing one, if not both. So definitely be on the lookout for that in the chat.
Yep. So I have 2 videos that I'm working on. One of them will probably come this week. I got the slide rankings, the middleweights coming out this week. Was with Ola from the Fight Week show. And
I already know where this going, man. He gonna have Izzy like 1 or 2, dog. I already know it. I already know it.
What? Honestly, I don't even remember. I have to go watch it again. I don't remember what he said. But y'all gotta watch that one to see if y'all agree with Ola on his top 15 middleweights of all time in the UFC. And then I'm working on a top 25 fighters going into 2026.
Okay, that'd be a
So
dope one.
across all, and this is just male, but across all divisions, top
Okay,
26. I mean, top 25. So that's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of disagreement on that because I'm looking at my list actually right now, and yeah, no, you're not going to agree with this.
oh, I already know me and you gonna disagree on the top 25. I already know that.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a good list though. It's a solid list. But I'm working on that video. That should probably come out either um maybe later on this week, if not early next week. So couple things going.
Cool, cool.
Otherwise, everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all jumping in here. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. And yeah, until next time.
Peace.
Thanks for watching Crosswalk. Come back next Monday to chop it up.
So please, whatever.